Most people believe success comes from talent, luck, intelligence, or connections. They look at highly successful people and assume there is something special about them, something ordinary people simply don't have. But the truth is far simpler and far more uncomfortable. Behind nearly every successful individual, across industries and generations, there exists one powerful habit that separates them from everyone else. It's not motivation, not intelligence, not even hard work alone. It is the habit of showing up consistently, even when they don't feel like it. This habit quietly shapes destinies while most people are waiting to feel ready. Highly successful people understand something most people never accept. Feelings are unreliable. Motivation fades. Confidence fluctuates. Energy disappears. If you rely on emotion to dictate action, your progress will always be inconsistent. The secret habit is not waiting for the perfect mood. It is acting regardless of mood. Success is built on discipline, not inspiration. Successful people train themselves to work when they're tired, to focus when they're distracted, and to continue when quitting feels easier. This single habit compounds over time and creates results that look extraordinary from the outside but are painfully ordinary on the inside. Just daily commitment executed relentlessly. This habit is uncomfortable, which is exactly why most people avoid it. Comfort is seductive. It whispers that tomorrow will be better, that you deserve rest, that skipping one day doesn't matter. But successful people understand the dangerous cost of comfort. They know that every excuse strengthens weakness, and every disciplined action strengthens identity. Over time, they don't just do the work, they become the kind of person who does the work. Identity is shaped by repeated action, not by intention. What makes this habit so powerful is its invisibility. Nobody applauds consistency. Nobody celebrates discipline behind closed doors. There are no trophies for waking up early, for practicing daily, or for saying no to distractions. But these quiet actions are exactly what build momentum. While others chase shortcuts, successful people trust the process, while others seek hacks. Successful people build foundations. This habit doesn't promise fast results, but it guarantees lasting ones. Most people fail because they treat success like an event instead of a lifestyle. They go all in for a week, then disappear for a month. They start strong, then fade when progress slows. Highly successful people do the opposite. They move steadily. They respect time. They understand that small actions repeated daily outperform massive actions done occasionally. This is the secret habit. Consistency without drama, discipline without applause, and action without permission. If you adopt only one habit from this speech, let it be this: show up every day, especially on the days you don't want to. That is where growth lives. That is where separation happens. And that is where ordinary people become unstoppable. Talent gets attention, but consistency builds results. Intelligence gets praised, but consistency creates impact. Motivation feels exciting, but consistency is what quietly changes lives. One of the biggest lies people believe about success is that they need to be exceptional to win. They wait until they feel smarter, more confident, more prepared. Meanwhile, highly successful people are not waiting, they are working, even when they feel average, uncertain, or tired. They understand a truth that most people resist. Showing up every day matters more than how gifted you are on day one. Talent without consistency is wasted potential. The world is full of gifted people who never reach their goals because they relied on ability instead of discipline. Intelligence without consistency becomes arrogance, overthinking, and hesitation. Motivation without consistency becomes a cycle of starting and stopping, excitement followed by disappointment. Successful people don't deny the value of talent or intelligence, but they never depend on them. They depend on systems, routines, and habits that carry them forward even when motivation disappears. Consistency compounds in ways most people underestimate. 1 hour a day may not feel life-changing, but over a year, it becomes hundreds of hours of progress. One disciplined choice may feel insignificant, but repeated daily, it reshapes your identity. Highly successful people play the long game. They understand that growth is not linear and results are not immediate. They trust accumulation. While others quit because they don't see instant payoff, consistent people keep going until progress becomes undeniable. Another reason consistency wins is because it builds self-trust. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. Every time you show up despite resistance, your mind learns that you are reliable. This internal trust is priceless. Most people lack confidence not because they're incapable, but because they constantly break promises to themselves. Successful people build confidence through action, not affirmation. They don't tell themselves they're disciplined. They prove it daily. Consistency also removes decision fatigue. When something becomes a habit, it no longer requires negotiation. You don't ask yourself whether you feel like doing it, you just do it. This is why highly successful people protect their routines fiercely. They reduce chaos, limit distractions, and structure their days intentionally. Their success looks flexible from the outside, but it is built on rigid habits behind the scenes. Freedom is earned through structure. Consistency is the great equalizer. It allows ordinary people to outperform the extraordinary. It turns small beginnings into massive outcomes. And it creates a gap between those who talk about success and those who actually live it. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be persistent. You don't need bursts of motivation. You need a habit of showing up. This is why consistency, more than anything else, remains the secret weapon of highly successful people. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes without warning, influenced by mood, energy, environment, and emotion. Highly successful people understand this better than anyone, which is why they don't build their lives around motivation. They build them around discipline. Discipline is what remains when excitement fades. It is the quiet force that keeps them moving forward on days when nothing feels inspiring. While most people wait to feel ready, disciplined people act first and let motivation catch up later. The secret to discipline is not willpower, it's structure. Successful people don't rely on raw self-control every day because that would exhaust them. Instead, they design systems that make discipline automatic. They schedule their priorities, eliminate unnecessary choices, and reduce friction between intention and action. When the time comes to work, they don't debate, they execute. By removing decision-making from the process, they protect their energy and maintain momentum even on difficult days. Another key to discipline is identity. Highly successful people don't see discipline as something they do. They see it as something they are. They don't say, "I'll try to be consistent." They say, "I'm the kind of person who shows up." This identity-based approach changes everything. When actions align with identity, discipline feels less like punishment and more like self-respect. Every time they follow through, they reinforce the belief that they are dependable, resilient, and committed. Successful people also accept discomfort as part of the process. They don't expect the journey to feel good all the time. They understand that growth requires resistance, boredom, and sacrifice. Instead of running from discomfort, they train themselves to work through it. Over time, their tolerance for discomfort increases, while others quit at the first sign of difficulty. This ability to endure without complaint becomes a massive advantage in competitive environments. Discipline thrives on consistency over intensity. Successful people don't rely on extreme effort. They rely on sustainable habits. They'd rather make steady progress every day than burn out chasing perfection. When motivation disappears, as it always does, discipline takes over and carries them forward. This is why they continue growing while others stall. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it asks whether you're committed. This is the truth most people avoid. Success doesn't come from feeling ready, it comes from acting anyway. When motivation fails you, discipline saves you. And when discipline becomes a habit, success becomes inevitable. Highly successful people don't rely on chaos, randomness, or chance. They live by rituals, simple, repeatable actions that anchor their days and protect their progress. While most people wake up reacting to life, successful people wake up directing it. Their mornings, afternoons, and evenings are built around habits that reinforce focus, discipline, and growth. These rituals don't look glamorous, but they are powerful because they are consistent. Over time, they transform ordinary individuals into high performers. One of the most important rituals is starting the day with intention. Successful people don't begin their mornings scrolling through social media or reacting to other people's priorities. They begin by grounding themselves, reviewing goals, visualizing outcomes, or simply creating mental clarity before the noise of the world begins. This intentional start sets the tone for the entire day. It creates control, confidence, and direction, while others start their day already distracted and behind. Another critical ritual is deep, focused work. Highly successful people carve out uninterrupted time to work on what truly matters. They don't multitask, they prioritize. They understand that progress comes from concentrated effort, not scattered attention. While most people stay busy but unproductive, successful people work on fewer things with greater focus. This ability to concentrate deeply gives them an unfair advantage in a world addicted to distraction. Successful people also end their days with reflection. They evaluate what went well, what didn't, and what can be improved tomorrow. This habit of self-review accelerates growth. Instead of repeating mistakes unconsciously, they learn continuously. Reflection turns experience into wisdom and ensures that every day contributes to long-term improvement. Most people repeat the same year over and over. Successful people compress learning into every day. Another overlooked ritual is protecting energy. High performers are ruthless about what drains them. They manage sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mental input because they understand that energy fuels execution. They don't glorify burnout. They know that sustained success requires physical and mental endurance. While others run themselves into exhaustion, successful people pace themselves for the long game. These daily rituals don't require talent or luck, only commitment. And that's what makes them so powerful. Anyone can adopt them, but few do. Over time, these small, intentional actions compound into extraordinary results. This is how average people become exceptional, not through dramatic breakthroughs, but through disciplined daily rituals that quietly build greatness. Highly successful people think in years while most people think in days. This single difference in perspective separates those who achieve lasting success from those who burn out or give up early. The long game is not glamorous. It requires patience, restraint, and faith in progress you cannot yet see. Most people abandon their goals because they expect fast results, quick validation, and immediate rewards. When those don't come, they assume they're failing. Successful people, however, understand that progress is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Playing the long game means sacrificing short-term comfort for long-term freedom. It means saying no to distractions that feel good now but cost you later. It means continuing to show up when no one is watching, when the audience is silent, and when results feel painfully slow. Highly successful people are willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time because they trust the process they are building. They don't chase trends, they build foundations. This long-term mindset protects them from emotional decision-making. Instead of reacting to setbacks with panic, they see obstacles as part of the timeline. Instead of quitting when motivation fades, they rely on discipline and routine. They know that mastery takes time and that consistency eventually outpaces intensity, while others restart again and again. Successful people stay on the path long enough for momentum to compound. Another reason successful people win the long game is because they invest in skills and character, not just outcomes. They focus on becoming better, not just appearing successful. Skills compound, discipline compounds, reputation compounds, and so does trust in themselves and from others. These invisible assets create opportunities that shortcuts never will. When success finally arrives, it looks sudden to outsiders, but it was built quietly over years of deliberate effort. Ultimately, the long game requires belief in yourself, in your process, and in delayed gratification. Highly successful people are willing to trade immediate pleasure for future power. They know that today's discipline becomes tomorrow's freedom. While most people chase quick wins, successful people build lives that last. This is the secret habit revealed in its fullest form: consistent action, disciplined routine, and long-term thinking. Not flashy, not easy, but unstoppable. If you're serious about taking action in your life, stop waiting and start now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because here on this channel, we bring you daily motivation, life-changing insights, and the push you need to stop procrastinating and start achieving. Don't just watch. Take action and let's rise together.